We were talking about this as a staff this morning. Like, what are the Cowboys? And the truth is, even though I've probably, over the course of my career, been harder on the Cowboys than most, I don't want to confuse disappointing with dysfunctional. I mean, they lose a lot of big games. At least they're in them. They're in the club. There's only 13 franchises, in my opinion, that are at the grown-up table. The rest are at the kids' table. And the grown-up franchises, New England, Buffalo, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Philly, Dallas, Green Bay, Rams, Seattle, San Francisco, Saints, and Minnesota. That's the grown-up table. Then there's the chaos, nonsense, noisy, hot, cold, controversies, instability, constant turnover kids' table. Now, Detroit has been at the kids' table forever, but they're no longer throwing tantrums or in food fights. They've backed away from the table, and the adults are thinking about inviting the Lions over to the adult table. Then they got blown out by Baltimore, and they kind of moved the chair back in. But you go to the last 10, 20 years, there's only 12, 13 franchises at the grown-up table where you get an occasional noisy player, Des Bryant. You get an occasional Jerry Jones gaffe in front of the mic. But Dak's a grown-up. They win a lot of games. Don't confuse disappointing to dysfunctional. Since Tony Romo was the quarterback, that's 2006. So that's a pretty big spread of years, right? 2006 until today. They're the sixth winningest team in the league. Okay? The sixth. And we know New England, Kansas City are the top 2 or 3, right, in San Francisco. So the top 3 are like dynasties and legends. Niners, Patriots, Brady, Belichick, Mahomes, Reed. Just take those 3 out. And then you can take the Packers out because they've had, a lot of great quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers. So if you take the top 4 out, again, Aaron Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes and Reed, 49ers, brilliantly run. Just take those 4 out. There's only one team ahead of them. So Romo won, Dak won, and their only bad seasons are when those guys got hurt. So the Cowboys are in a lot of big games. But you know why they're big games? Because Dallas feels big and Dallas wins a lot. They just disappoint us at the end of the year, but they're upper echelon. They're at the grown-up table, no question. I feel there's 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. Maybe there's more, but 2 that really jump out to me that I think are great, historically great physical talents. Big, strong, mobile, tough, accurate. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. That both of them are being let down by their franchise. 2 defensive head coaches, so the culture's defense. Franchises that historically kind of don't come up big in the biggest games. A lot of changes in coordinators. One guy just quits on the defensive side. Brian Daboll leaves. And let me give you an example. Who does Josh Allen in Buffalo now lean on? And you go and look at Peyton Manning. It was Tom Moore. All their changes. Tom Moore. Aaron Rodgers. Tom Clements. Brady may have had Belichick. It was Josh McDaniels all offseason. Mahomes, Andy Reid. Breeze, Sean Payton. They had a guy. They had a guy they could lean on. You always hear behind a successful man is a very strong woman, is the old cliche from 100 years ago or whatever. But in pro sports, if you find a star quarterback, behind every star quarterback is a guy. Who does Josh Allen trust in crisis? Briefly, it was Brian Daboll. And then he left. Nothing against Ken Dorsey, but does he trust him? Does he know him? I mean, this was a big job. Big job for Ken Dorsey. An emotional guy, talented guy. Brian Daboll's already proven he's a really good head coach. Ken Dorsey, has he proven he's a great offensive coordinator? And I'm not here to take a shot at Ken Dorsey. But the last 2 years, without Brian Daboll, giveaways, interceptions, still has the greatness in him. Still gives you the touchdowns and productions, not quite as refined. So who's your guy? Justin Herbert, 3 offensive coordinators in 4 years. You start looking at all the great ones. Montana could lean on Walsh. Mahomes on Andy. Clements for Rodgers. Tom Moore for Peyton. Josh McDaniels. Because as you know, as you become a star quarterback in 2023, thousands of people are grabbing at you. Endorsements and IG and fans and charities. And can you do this? Can you do that? Who centers you? Who sandpapers you? Who keeps people away? Who keeps you focused? When you look at Herbert and Allen's production, it's still fine. But it doesn't feel like they have a guy. And a guy matters. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.